tonight is Spotlight on the East at 6. And Pastor Antonio Smith will be preaching. All of us who can come back tonight and hear about the work of our association. We're getting away from denominational work, and it's fading. But the founding fathers thought it important that we fellowship together.
Amen.
And biblically, there is, it makes sense that churches work together.
Amen.
You can accomplish some things working together. And then you can help others from getting off track when you're working together. When you work solo, you ever notice, I'm in my teaching mode now, you ever notice that you can have some stuff going on in your head that sounds good to you? But then when you say it out loud, other folks say, that don't make no sense.
Amen.
We're not designed to try to fly solo. You get that when you way home. We need one another. The church keeps you as individuals from just drifting off. And then the association keeps churches from just drifting off. And we find so many churches that drift off into what in the world are you doing? Amen. Well, let me do this little preaching. Matthew chapter 9, verses 35 through 38. I'm getting a little better, but I'm still struggling. I'm getting a little better. Y'all keep praying. Anybody take B12 vitamins? Do they work pretty good? All right, I'm going to give me some B13. The devil is a liar. Glenda Denoise is trying to give me some B12 shots. I prefer the people. Yes, I'm scared of needles. I don't like needles. Yeah, exercise is good. Only problem is I don't have the energy to exercise. Y'all just pray for me. Now, can we do this sermon in about 15 minutes? Y'all gonna help me? Y'all help me. I'm gonna do this in about 15 minutes. Because I got to go to Victoria. I'm gonna sleep and they gonna drive. Kerry or Sister, one of them gonna drive. And Jesus went throughout all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and proclaiming the gospel of the kingdom and healing every disease and every affliction. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. Then he said to his disciples, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. That was my second sermon when I started preaching. Therefore, pray earnestly to the Lord of the harvest to send out laborers into his harvest. Look at verse 36 again. When he saw the crowds, he had compassion for them. So now when Jesus saw them, his response was compassion. When we see them, question mark. I want to to preach about seeing as Jesus saw.
Amen.
Seeing as Jesus saw. Matthew's account of the life of Jesus brings us into the healing of the paralytic, the dealing of a dead girl, a sick woman, 2 blind men, and a demon-possessed mute. And then he seemingly sums up the occasion by using Old Testament imagery as he declares, Jesus does, they are as sheep having no shepherd.
That's it.
Now I want you to notice right quick that he saw the multitudes, he saw the crowds, but he never lost sight of the individual.
Yes.
And furthermore, when he saw them as wounded, scattered, scratched sheep who were being plundered by robbers. And the very folk that we look at with disdain,
Yes, sir.
he looked at with compassion. So I have a question this morning. Where do saints come from?
What you say, Reverend? All right.
Saints come from sinners. And so, my brothers and sisters, the very ones that we think are unreachable, the very ones that we think are untouchable, when Jesus sees them, he sees them with an eye of compassion. And I want to suggest this morning that if the church is to be effective in the missionary enterprise of Jesus, it will only be when our eyes see like Jesus saw. Until our hearts beat with the compassion of Christ, we will never change the world by informing them of the transforming love and power of Jesus Christ. We'll continue to see multitudes and not see individuals. He sees a crowd. And he's moved because in the crowd, he sees individuals as sheep who have no shepherd. Now look around you. Look at on your way to church, I can almost imagine you saw some sights and you saw, what we call thugs or hardheads or other terms that we use. But run back through your mind again and see those same sights, but this time see them with the eyes of Jesus. And that really ought not be a serious problem if you could remember where you came from. You didn't say that long. You haven't been in church that long that you have forgotten when you were on the other side. For some of us, it wasn't that long ago. For others of us, it's been a while, but the tendencies are still there. And so it's not hard to really imagine what your life would be without Christ. How lost we would be. How confused we would be. I mean, life is giving you all it can to mess you up, and you not Christ. So what on earth will a person do without Christ? I don't know how you can make it. But here we have a whole generation almost on our hands who don't know what Christ can do. And they will not know if we don't tell them. So what sense does it make for a farmer to stand and complain about the weeds in his field? He needs to get hold and needs to go to work in the field. What sense does it complain for a seaman to talk about the fish that need to be dressed? If you caught them, then you need to do something about it. And what sense does it make for the church to complain about sinners being sinners? No, our job is to tell them and teach them, and if need be, show them. Hold their hands if necessary, and show them of the transforming love of Jesus Christ. He saw the crowds, and he had compassion for them because they were harassed and helpless like sheep without a shepherd. First of all, we notice the potential of the harvest. Jesus says the harvest truly is plenty. It's ironic, isn't it, that church is almost dead on life support for attendance, for membership on pews and all that kind of stuff, for participation. And the church, if we don't trust Christ, is almost about to go out of business, so it seems. But when you think about the potential, you ain't got to go far. Just right outside the door, just up and down the street, all the praise dancers, all the choir members, all the brotherhood members, all the missionary society, all of us all around us, but they don't come ready-made. Our problem is we want folk to walk in the door and be ready-made. We don't want to take the time, make the time. Now you think, how long did it take you to get where you are? And truth be told, you ain't all that. But how long did it take you to halfway get right? And then you want them to walk in the door and just be ready-made. Know how to dress, know how to conduct themselves, know how they're supposed to talk. How in the world can you be transitioned from being a sinner to a saint and nobody won't take the time to deal with you? You got to go because there is the potential for the harvest. He did not see them always being in the situation they were in, but he saw them being transformed by the power and love of God. He saw lost people being saved. He saw sinners becoming saints. He saw guilty being set free. And he saw the unforgiven being forgiven. When you think about it, all of the potential for the church is right outside our door. But if we keep telling one another about Jesus and never tell the lost of who he is, they'll never know. Secondly, there is the problem of the harvest. The potential of the harvest, and then he says, the problem is the laborers are few. The harvest is not the problem. It's plenty. The harvest is not the problem because God has made ready to bring it in. But there is a disinterest and a non-involvement of gatherers of the harvest. And it is because it's hard work. It is dealing with folk that's lost. It's rough stuff. You got to have tough skin when you're going to deal with some people, because sometimes they'll hurt your feelings. And sometimes they'll say stuff that's from left field and you wonder where they're coming from. But people who are hardest to help are the ones who need it the most. And if the church is not going to help them. What help will they have? If the saints are not going to have some tolerance, if the saints are not going to have some patience, if we won't show them the love of Jesus, who will? The problem is that we got worshipers and we have believers, but we don't have laborers. And somehow or another, we've got to activate the pews to be laborers, to be workers in the vineyard. The harvest is out there. Your Sunday school class is out there. Your mission society is out there. Choir members, we don't have a whole lot of them in here, but they're out there. There's some folk that can sing. They just need to be saved. There's some ushers out there. But if we don't take what we got in here, if we don't take the seats to the streets, we'll never get the streets in the seats. My brothers and sisters, we're too wrapped up in ourselves to show the concern of Christ to a lost world.